Okay, I'm going to re-record this because whenever I speak from a script, it sounds so unbelievably fake. So, no more scripting. No more scripts, okay? I promise. Instead, I'm going to give it to you straight from the top of my dome. I'm going to rock this microphone. Okay. I'm torn, everybody. These days, I am quite torn. As an artist, as a musician, I have two jobs. I have to make the music, the artworks, the performances. I have to make all these things. And then I also have to promote the heck out of them. I have to make sure you hear them. I have to construct a plan so that not only does the public hear and love these things, but that the industry will get behind it and amplify that love. And that's a lot of work. That's a lot of work. And I am now gearing up to begin releasing my second album. And this is going to be a do or die kind of album. I'm putting everything I have into this, and if it doesn't work, nothing will ever work and I will move on. And so that puts an awful lot of pressure on this release, and it means that I can take all of the lessons that I learned from the first one and I can refuse to release anything unless I know they will get the best chance. My first album is lovely. It's wonderful. It's cute. It's kind. It's playful. It's magical. But it wasn't released well. I did a terrible job releasing it. And my songwriting wasn't the best either, so I kind of let certain songs go out on that album that maybe I shouldn't have. Maybe I should have tried a little harder. Of course. But we live and we learn. I was completely scarred by that first release. When the album basically did nothing, when nobody really seemed to care, I was stood there with sand pouring out of my hands. What once was this beautiful image of my future was now just disappearing in front of me. And I didn't know what to do. I didn't know where to go. I didn't know how to start again. And then I retreated into the business. I went to BIM and I got a business degree in music, which was fun, but a very silly idea. And then eventually, over time, my artistic impulses, they took over again, and I came back and I wrote songs and I performed and I mixed my music with new production techniques, and we just made something even better, something hotter, something with teeth, something that has more energy. It's darker and it's sweeter and it's a little bit more of everything that the first one was. Pink Skies at Night is going to be a much, much better album. And that means that I need to match that energy. I need to match that quality in art with quality in the release. And this is too difficult for me right now. I don't have the energy to do both. This is where things like money and connections come into play. When people complain about Nepo babies, this is what they're complaining about. Nepo babies can make amazing artwork. They really, really can. They can make some of the most beautiful music you'll ever hear. That's not a problem. Nobody's questioning that. The problem is after that hurdle, what happens is that everybody without money falls, and everybody without the connections fall. And I don't want to be one of those people who falls at the last hurdle. I am trying to run around and milk every industry connection I've ever gathered, every bit of knowledge I've ever collected. I am trying to use as many people around me as possible to just push and push and push this so that it becomes a real thing. But that takes so much time, so much labor. And I have a weird habit. I have a weird habit of spending a lot of money and a lot of time on things that to me seem like great ideas, but in hindsight are the worst things I possibly could have done. I should not have spent 10,000 euro making Learning Curve. I should not have spent all that time making Learning Curve. It was a wonderful thing to do, but if I wanted my album to succeed, I should not have done that. I could also walk the Camino, and that would be great, but it would not be a good release strategy for my next album. And so, to the crux of what I'm trying to say is, my overly zealous and ambitious self at the start of this year was wrong. He was wrong, everybody. Back then, I was struggling to do anything. I was struggling to just get out of bed and do any kind of work. I'm in a much, much better place now, and it is thanks to doing these videos every week. It is thanks to doing a song every week. But dear God, it takes so much time. I know it shouldn't take so much time. I could just do what I'm doing today. Today what I'm doing is just banging out a song in one day and then banging out a video on the same day. I'm doing both. And really that's probably what it could be. Maybe that's what it will become. And I'm not decided on this yet. This is just more of a gentle warning. But I think I'm gonna stop doing the weekly videos. Now, the weekly songs, they're fun. I like doing that. That doesn't take too much time, and it's so related to what I do. And honestly, it just gets some of the stupid creative ideas out of my brain so that I can actually work on the good ones. And you know, it teaches me about music, and it helps me to enjoy music more. So the weekly song will stay, because my patrons deserve nothing less. But the weekly videos are going to change. Maybe I'll do one every once in a while. But I cannot maintain this level of commitment because I have to be an artist. And I have to sell the art. And these videos are doing neither of those things. Because I'm not giving enough time to them for them to be popular beyond my 40 friends who apparently watch these things. And there's just better techniques for doing that. So, yeah. Let me know what you think. If out of absolutely nowhere, everybody who watches my previous videos comes back and comments and says, no, don't stop, I'll keep going. But that's not going to happen. That's not going to happen. That would be madness. That would be insanity. You would be crazy and I would hold you accountable for your madness. That's it. That's all I really want to talk about. And the one final point I will say on this, if you are listening and you are an artist of some kind, if you are trying to balance your creativity and your, let's call it, communications, they are both very important, but you're probably not good at both. Find help. Make art so good that somebody will want to help you. Because that's what I failed to do. I tried to help myself, and I failed to make art good enough to be helped. And I've seen so many artists turn industry folks do the same thing. They decide to manage themselves, they decide to learn about the industry because they think it's going to help their career, but it never does. It just distracts them. It gives them a plan B, and we don't need plan Bs. We need to single-mindedly focus on making the absolutely best artwork that ever existed ever. Or burn up in the atmosphere. Those are your options. Those are my options. And then eventually, 2 albums in, then you can maybe say, okay, this isn't working, and try something else. But for now, just focus on making the best things you can. And with any luck, you'll find somebody who likes it. That's a great feeling. I don't know if I'll see you next week. If I don't, you can just go onto my website. I have a blog that I do every week, and I'm always going to do that every week. Or you can sign up to my mailing list. I do that every 2 weeks. That'll be fine as well. There's lots of places. Or my Discord. Oh, this video's chaos, isn't it? I'm going to need to make another video eventually. Promoting the Discord, the Patreon, the mailing list, and my website. Okay, I'm going to do that another time. For now, we are done. It is late, and there's more work to be done. I'll see you soon.